Hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's Friday with Shaz. So excited to be doing this live with you today to talk about all things social media, Facebook content in a 4-step plan. So if you are struggling a little right now, one with content in terms of what to post on social media, specifically Facebook, but you could use the same philosophy and the same process with other social media platforms as well. So if you're struggling with the content, what to post, you also might be struggling with posting daily, if that's part of your marketing strategy, or if your marketing strategy is 3 times a week and you're struggling to do that, and you're struggling because of a time sensitive issue that you have with scheduling and how to schedule posts and all that kind of jazz, then I've got your back. And that's what today's all about, is a 4-step plan for your social media, Facebook scheduling, or scheduling if you like, however you say that. So let's get started. Welcome, welcome, welcome. If you are just joining me now through the live, then just do pop in and say hi and show some thumbs up, some love, some engagement into the Facebook live here. If you're joining me over on YouTube, and if you have any questions, then feel free to ask those questions in the comments, share, subscribe, hit the bell. You know the drill. Do that over there. You will also find that if you're over on YouTube and you're loving what I'm going through here and you're like, yeah, I really want to hear more from Shaz, then in the description in the YouTube, I will actually pop up the Tribe Facebook link, so you can go head over to our Tribe and request to be a member of our online Facebook community over there, which is specifically for small business operations and specifically for women. So if that sounds like something you want to be a part of in that community and hear more of what I've got to offer, then you will find the link for that in the description here of the YouTube. If you're listening to the replay, then just hashtag replay. If you have any questions at any point, then feel free to pop them in the comments as well. Facebook scheduling, social media planning. Woo, we're here, we're doing it, yay, together. So Facebook, a month of scheduling in under 30 minutes. Now, just whilst we think about that, have some time to think about whether you have 30 minutes a month to invest in your social media Facebook strategy. If you do, then this is the right training for you. I would recommend that you grab some paper, a pen, a notebook, something, or just if you can't do that right now, if you're listening to this on the fly, then come back to this. It will be in the group, in the tribe, and take some notes with this, because information's one thing, but then implementation is a whole different ball game. And if you find that after listening to this, you're like, you know what? This is all great, but I actually really need that person to help me throughout the process. That's what I'm here for, and that's what I do in my line of work. So if that is something that you're wanting more help with, then ask away and I can talk with you about what that looks like. So reach out if that is the case, and you'll find all of my social links and my website and everything else in the description or in the comments of this presentation, however you're listening to that. But I do understand that, you know, when we're born, we've got parents and we've got all people that are our guardians, that are people of authority that we look up to, and we toe the line in a sense most of the time. And then we go to school and we've got that teaching, and then we potentially get a job or start a business, and we've got mentors, we've got bosses, and we kind of have someone to report to, someone that we are obligated to in a way, and that person of authority. So it makes sense to me that as much as this information is going to be to the point, straightforward, and there is 4 tips to scheduling and planning 30 minutes a month where you can show up on Facebook every day, a post a day, as much as it's a simple process, I do understand that sometimes we do need that person that we can be accountable to help us throughout that. So if that is you, then reach out to me, because I am that person for you. So the game plan today is to talk about, one, focus on the outcome for the month or week if you prefer to do it weekly. So what I mean by that is, if you are thinking a month, oh, my brain, it's frying, then let's go with a week. Okay, so you get to choose. This is your business. You get to make the choice. And I originally started off scheduling daily. So I would do a post at nighttime and it would come out the next day. I'm a mum with 2 kids. I've got a few things on the go. So it just kind of worked for me whilst I learnt the skills. And then I started doing it weekly. On a Sunday night, I would schedule my posts in my groups and different things for that week. And to do it monthly is so cool. If you know what your outcome is for the month. So if you have a specific target you want to meet within your business, if there's a certain part of your business that you want to emphasize on, or a product or a service or a following that you want, like more people on your email list, for example, then you can know what your message is and what the focus is, and then target the content that's specific to that message. So we're going to talk about that. But if you need to do it daily or weekly, then just change the philosophy that I go through in the next little while and do it daily, because you can do it daily too. But I find doing it weekly is cool, but when you get to monthly, it's amazing. Now, I will preface this training by saying that you may find that initially, whilst you're learning this and whilst you're planning and whilst you're getting your thoughts down on paper and whilst you're working on this, it may take a little bit of time, longer than 30 minutes a month. But once you've done this once and you've followed this 4-step plan, you'll find that you will literally need 30 minutes a month to be able to do all of your planning with your social content, which is so cool. It's like life-changing. Step number 2 is to pick 7 themes or topics, if you like. Choose your word, themes, topics, same thing. That you, and I'll go through and I'll give you some examples of what those themes could look like for you. But the reason that we're going to choose 7 themes, and I'll always talk about step 3 here, create 4 posts. So if we do the math on that, you've got 7 themes and you've got 4 posts in each theme. So if we do the math on that, and the post means content, then you've got a month's supply of social Facebook posting. Your content is sorted. So we're going to cover those 2. And 4 is we're going to schedule it, and I'll explain how I do that and what I would recommend, and a bit of advice and help with that as well. So let's get down to it. Are you excited? I'm excited. Number 1 is to focus on the outcome. So what do you want from this month's social plan? So we're just going to say that we're going to focus on, although we're in July, let's say we're focusing on August. And so what is your outcome for the month? So that is the first note to take. If you're not quite sure, think about it later, but absolutely have some sort of strategy and plan for what that looks like, because it will help with your content and your posting. Is it to sell something in particular? Is it to launch a new course or program, build your email list, your following, grow your Facebook group? You might have just launched a business and you're wanting to get that following and that launch and the people around to sort of see what your offering is, and get the marketplace to take a look. So get super clear on what the outcome is for that month. You know what? And you might just want to play and try a few things to see what works. If you're thinking, you know what, Shaz, that all sounds great, but I actually don't know the answer to that. And it might be because you're new to social. This is like a new thing for you, and you're really not quite sure what you want to achieve for the month. Maybe you don't have someone that is there to help you, like a coach or a mentor like myself, that is helping and advising and guiding you through a process as a coach, and you're not quite sure what you're doing quite yet. But you know what? If that's you, 1, reach out to me, but 2, feel free to play. just play around a little bit and see what works. And then from there, as you develop some skills and as you get an idea of what your messaging looks like and what your focus is, and you can implement that in the future months to come. Number 2 is to choose your 7 themes relevant to the monthly outcome. So always relevant to what that messaging, that monthly outcome is that you're wanting to achieve. So, for example, some themes might be inspiration. It might be about me, fun. Fun's good because it creates great algorithm on Facebook. You'll get interactions, you'll get people that will comment and share different things that you mightn't have if it's a structured business post all the time or a structured product post all the time. So fun is really, and it's social. It's social media for a reason. So don't be scared from a business point of view for you to always have to show up business orientated or product orientated, because it's social media. Get social, have some fun. It could be work with me, which is really important to do the work with me. It's not something that you see all that often, but it does need to be a part of your strategy because people need to know how they can reach out and work with you and what options you have. Questions, did you know? So questions are great because you asking a question and giving some options, A, B, C, or putting an image up and saying which one would you go with, this or that, and generating interest and that interaction, which is what you want to achieve. It's like thinking about when you catch up with friends for coffee, you want the conversation to go back and forth, right? It's like that. And this is what your social is about. It's engaging, it's having conversation, it's creating what I refer to it as a tennis match. You hit the ball over the court, they hit it back. You want to have that interaction with your followers. So questions are great, and it allows people to have their opinion and to engage with you. Did you know? So your did you know can go anywhere, and that is a great theme because you could, if your theme for your messaging for the month was, for example, that you wanted to grow your email list, and your did you know could be, did you know that on my email list last week I shared and 3 points. And it could be about basic business fundamentals, that your email list is an asset you own, and how to content for emailing. I'm talking about me here, and this is what I do. But if that is the case and you want more people, then you could say that, more people on your list, and you're then telling them what value they're getting from being on your list. So did you know in my emails, these are the things I talk about? And then you would, because that is a theme, one of your 7 themes, in the next step, we're going to develop 4 posts about that. So you're showing up 4 times on a did you know theme to talk about that. So this or that. Now what that means is these are really cool, and it is a fun thing to have in there. So, for example, you could have, let's say you're environmentally friendly, your product or your service or who you are as a human, you're very much so all into that and all over that, and that is like one of your core values. And then let's just say you sell children's toys, for example. You could have a this or that theme, and this or that, a post in that this or that could be wooden toys, or there could be a that, which is plastic. Now, you're not being negative about either or voicing like a political opinion or a environmentally get on a stage and overly make a stand. Unless you want to do that, then go for it. When you're doing that sort of thing, though, you need to be prepared that you will have that interaction. You will have potentially the cop-out that comes with that, but you potentially will have the amazing followers because they're in alignment with you. So you've got to keep that sort of thing in mind as well. But just having a very image that you do on Canva. Canva's a free app, and it's what I recommend. And I could talk about color theming, and I could talk about so many things for so long. That's not what today's about. But at this or that post where you've got both options that I just referred to, wooden and plastic, and you've just got the word this or you've got the word that, you will get people that will comment on that. One, it's in alignment with who you are. If it's, for your theme for the month where you really want to emphasize environmentally friendly products and you want to support people in other business that have that, then if that's where you want to head for that month, then that would be a great option to do. So let me know if in the comments, if you're listening to this live, if you've got any questions so far about any of that. Some paid or some free offers. Paid and free offers as a theme will help you to make sure that you're marketing yourself and what you've got to add value, like to the marketplace and to the people that want to work with you. They want to know how to work with you. So often, some people get the whole fun and the interaction and all that really like humming along, but yet they're booking nobody in, or they're not having new customers come through because they're not doing the paid and free offer part of it. So that is a really good theme to have, because it actually encourages you to show up and show your value to the marketplace and what products and services, what your business is. So a tip is to have a look at the calendar of events. So what I mean by that is there's different things that happen. So we've got Mother's Day, Father's Day, Christmas, Easter, Valentine's Day, so many different things. And then there is your quirky days where you've got World Chocolate Day, which was just the other day. And you've got Pancake Day, and different states, different countries have different themes and different things. But if you Google that stuff, you will find answers to that. So with that, you can create some of your fun themes around some of your posts, around that, but keep it in alignment with your themes and your messaging for the month. But just knowing what they are just creates a little bit of difference amongst what you're actually posting. Hashtags, so blocking those out first is great, because you might actually find that you've got a group of posts that, because of the themes and the events, it could even be something that you're passionate about. So if you're passionate about a particular organization and they have a month that is focused in on their awareness for their health, or for a community thing that they do, that sort of thing, then those are really good too. And you could have them as like a did you know type of thing, that I support and these are the reasons and that type of thing. So it fills your cup up, but it creates awareness as well. So another one that you could think about is your hashtags. Now, I'm not saying putting hashtags on absolutely everything at all, in terms of like your posts. So when you're posting on a Wednesday, the example given here is Wednesday, hashtag Wednesday Wisdom. I'm not saying do that at all. When you do a post, you can, and the same as Motivational Monday. But all I'm saying with the hashtags is you've got it in your mind that one of your themes is a Wisdom Wednesday, for example, and on a Wednesday, you are going to be posting something that's wisdom related, that's in reference or in it's cohesive to what your message is for that month. Sometimes doing it like that will help you to sort of theme things around a focus and a theme. So it could be Self-Care Saturday, Transformation Tuesday. There's so many different ways you could go with that to just kind of help you. There is some social posting ideas to help you create themes that I provide with my coaching to my clients. And I will put up a list of that and that downloadable document in our tribe, in our Facebook tribe. So if you're in the tribe, you'll see that come up after this live and a little bit later on today. If you're over listening on YouTube to this, then you'll need to head over to the tribe. Link is in the description, where you can request to become a member of the Facebook community, and you'll be able to have that download from over within that group. But there's literally so many different posting and themes and content and so many great ideas in there that will help you to just get the brain thinking about things you can post. Because I know that's one of the biggest battles is how much is enough and how much is too much and all that kind of thing. Also, too, remembering that lives and videos. So video is great. Have a good combination of videos in there as well. Now, I'm going to talk a little bit about this because it's really important, because videos and lives and that sort of interaction really ranks high with the whole algorithm, and people want to see people. And so showing up and putting selfies up, doing videos, doing lives, all that sort of thing is just that high connection within your audience. Now, the videos don't have to be always you, though. What it could be, let's say that you've just started a business and you've got your first products in the door. You could literally go live on your business page. Now, a lot of what I'm talking about is scheduling into business, Facebook business pages, because a lot of people are not utilizing their Facebook business page. And at least minimum showing up 3 times a week. Ideally, it's every day, but we'll go with 3 times a week for the newbies. If it is part of your marketing plan, your structure, 3 times a week is like bare bones minimum. But you could be unwrapping a box you've just received. So it doesn't actually have to be a video of your face. It can be a video of the box and you're like, okay, it's here, it's arrived. Let's see what's in the box, and you open it live and you show your audience what was in the box. Awesome. Now, if you are in direct sales or anything that's product related, when you get a new product that's coming that you've never tried, or the company's launched a new product, open that live or do a video and then upload the video. Because another thing to keep in mind, and this is a subject and a topic for another day, but the reason that I'm talking about Facebook business pages is because you can actually see how many people are looking at your Facebook business page. Whereas in the group, unless you run the group and you're posting, if you're posting in other people's groups, you can't see how many people have looked at it and how that's actually ranking. You can't scale that, so you can't see what the reach was with that at all, whereas your Facebook business page you can. So if you wanted to talk to me a little bit more about which way you should go and why and how all that applies to you individually, then just reach out, drop a comment somewhere, and feel free to reach out and ask, and we can have that conversation. So doing those videos and lives will just rank you up there, and there's so many really cool things you can do that doesn't have to take 10, 15, 20 minutes at all, and they shouldn't really go for that long. Every now and then's okay, but your little videos and your little lives that you do, it could be just that you have a new workbench. It could be that, and I say workbench, if you're crafting different things, it's a workbench. Or it could be that you've just recently created a downloadable freebie that's on a particular topic. You could do a video and actually have that downloadable in front of you, print it out, and show people that. And that's going to get different ranked than what it would if you just put the image up there. So just think about that as you go, and I think we can overthink the video and the lives too much. If you're not really into the whole live thing yet, that's okay. But if you are at a networking function prior to going, if you are running a boot camp, if you're running a retreat, if you are doing anything related to where you show up and add value, maybe just record yourself on video for 5, 10, 15, 20 seconds, 2 minutes. And you don't have to use that straight away, but you could just do little things like that. And over the course of a week or 2 weeks or a month, you're going to have little pockets of videos that you'll be able to draw on, and you'll be able to then put into maybe a video. Now, iMovie is very simple to use for the iPhone lovers out there. So that is a great one, and that's a whole different conversation too, where you can just, the whole video content, and it is a little bit of a skill, but if you can always just crop your own videos on your phone. I mean, there's so many things you can do without needing all the fancy technology. And it's just a matter of making a start and being aware of it and being prepared to just learn some new skills as you go, so you can draw on those at a later stage. Point number 3 is to create 4 posts for each theme. So what you want to do is have branded posts at some point. Now, if you're thinking, yeah, that's a bit too far for me right now, Shaz, I'm, happy with everything that you've gone through, but now needing to get something else is a little bit too far for me. Totally fine. Just know you can come back to that. Canva, you can get the free version of Canva at the time of doing this video, which is enough for you to get some branded posts, or they call them tiles. And basically all it is a background or an image, and you can put things on there. So let's just say that your colors are pink and stars, or pink and hearts. Okay, let's go with pink and hearts. So it might be the same pink background, and you might have a little heart that is in that image, but you've got different words, different call to action in the tiles or the images that you're creating on Canva, because it keeps everything color themed, cohesive. And I mean, I could just go really detailed with that, but I'm not going to. But just think about when you're posting, if your colors are pink and hearts, or it could be green and dots, or it could be orange and squiggles, then just think about that a little bit without overthinking about it, because sometimes when you do that, you actually don't do anything. You're better off to have imperfect action and make a start and learn as you go than not do anything at all. But word swag is another one. So just have a look at that, download some apps, jump on Google and suss out those if you don't have them. But color theming is really cool. Use existing content. Oh my goodness, there's so many things out there we have already done that we have not yet reutilized. So, or we've paid for our website and we've just kind of left it there, and we're not repurposing the content, that amazing content that we spent hours on or money in someone else creating, that we're not utilizing. So, for example, it could be YouTube. So in my email that I do weekly, on my Monday e-news with Shaz, I will generally every week put my YouTube video in there that I've uploaded the Friday before. And there'll be a description in there, and I'll repurpose that content. I'll repurpose my YouTube to go onto my Facebook page, and then I'll schedule it to go into my tribe's Facebook group on the given day. So if it's market day in there, we have set hashtags and themes for different days over in the tribe. So depending upon what it's about, I will schedule it. So I do that after I've created that YouTube video. So you repurposing content, and that's a whole different subject, and a very good one that I could talk about on a future video with you all. There's an idea. But making sure that you are utilizing everything you've done in the past. So go to your website, copy and paste that stuff that you've had to put up there to let people know how they can work with you. Let people know more about you, how to connect with you. It's all over there if you've got a website. Your newsletter, if you do a newsletter and you've done some of them before, or an email, or whatever you want to call that, a blog, then there's information in there that you may have put out to your audience once. The same audience is not following you anymore. So they might be still there, but they might have even missed it the first, second, third time around. So you can repurpose that content. It is a good idea to change. I wouldn't be putting the same content up in every single group and every single, like your business, your Facebook business page, and everywhere, like all on the same day. That's not what I'm saying. And you might just want to tweak and change it slightly. But just with the whole algorithm, it's important to do that. But repurposing your content for your posts and picking and choosing like different things you've already said and done. I often, honestly, surprise myself. I will go into groups that I've posted in where I've added value and I've shown up in those groups and I've given aha tips and genius ideas and different things. And if you go into a group that you're already in, where you've posted product or your services in there, and you search, there's a little like a magnifying glass in the group, and you can search your name. You'll be amazed at what you've said and done before. I amaze myself sometimes. I'm like, I actually said that? That is so cool. I need to reuse that. So if you're struggling with content and you're struggling to know, and you know what, we all have those fog moments, those moments of just like, I know I need to do this, but my brain is just not in the zone right now. And often it's good just to go away and come back. But sometimes if you need to get it done, then just going into your past groups and searching and finding things you've already done, you'll find some amazing content and you'll be like, oh, I'm pretty good. I did that. Another great tip is to images and video. And I've mentioned that before, that Facebook love images and they love video. So when I say images, I mean, don't just put a post up that's just content, that's just text without some sort of image, some sort of question, some sort of poll, some sort of something other than just the text, the words. So a stock image, anything that's related to the outcome of the month. And it's interesting, you know what, once you get your creative juices flowing, it's amazing what you can do to capture people's attention. So for example, recently in our tribe group, we have Monday, which is, I think it's this week, is the hashtag, but it's basically sharing what we're up to for the week. And it's really good to do that. Because it makes me think about what I'm doing that week. And then I just post, this is what I'm up to this week. And the last one I did was actually of our dog, who's still a puppy. And he's sitting on the couch and he's like a little human up there, like a legit sitting up there like a human. And I just put in the background image of that, the words this week. And then I just mentioned in the text above it. So, animals, babies, I think they get everyone's attention, but I made it relevant to what I was talking about. So just get creative with it a little bit. A tip is, as I've already said that, haven't I? Search Facebook groups that you've posted in and utilize that content that you've actually already done. If you go to different events and it's permissible for you to record and video, if lives is not something you're comfortable with, then maybe you can record yourself, even just giving your, we call them kind of infomercials, or your pitch in your networking group that you might be going to. If you can have someone record you and you doing that, then that could be something that you could use. So don't underestimate the value of capturing your moments when you're in your moment of genius, delivering content to people and repurposing that through your social. And number 4, which is the last point in our series, is to show off your content, like throw a social party. And I don't mean literally throw a social party, although you could, but basically just get out there. So scheduling does not have to be scary. It totally doesn't have to be scary at all. And the app that I would recommend, I believe it used to be called Pages, like old school Facebook thing. But Business Suite app is perfectly fabulous for creating scheduling posts in your business Facebook page, on your business Facebook page. In groups, you can actually, if you own the group, I mentioned before, and without confusing anybody, that if you actually are an admin, of the group, you can get your phone and you can do a post in your phone like you would normally. And then there's, you can actually choose to schedule that post, like one post. So there is many different ways that you can go about it. So say you're waiting for your kids to finish sport, or there's something that's happening, or pick them up from school. I mean, we all have moments where we just wait. And rather than just doing your regular social feed of like scrolling, then you could be putting a post up and scheduling it for a later date with a thought that's in your mind from something that happened that day, or a client conversation, or a product, whatever it might be. So you can do that individually without all the fancy apps as well, but you just kind of need to know where to go to do that and how that works. So if you need help with that, then as I've said a few times throughout this presentation, that's what I'm here for. So reach out and we can have those conversations and see whether we're a match, so I can help you with that specifically and work with you. So tip, schedule your scheduling. Schedule your scheduling, monthly or weekly. So what you need to have that CEO social time. So you are your boss of your business. So you need to kind of schedule that in, make sure it gets done. So if it's a Sunday night, if it's a Monday morning, if it's a Wednesday noon, whatever, and it's weekly, do it weekly. And make sure you block out that time where you're going to schedule a post. If it's 3 a week, you only need to schedule 3 for the next week. Or if it's 1 every day, it's 7. But if you're doing it monthly, then, you need to block out that time. So book time in for yourself to be the marketing social person and do that. Another tip is you can post to Instagram and Facebook together. Nice one, hey? So because Instagram is now been bought out by Facebook, then they're kind of in some ways integrated. So you can do that through that Business Suite app. And I get the question often asked, should I? And you know what? Imperfect action's better than not showing up at all. Sometimes I have different audience that follow me on Instagram that see that, and although they might follow me on my business Facebook page, they're just not over there. So, and the same applies with the opposite as well. So if you are on both and it means that you're going to show up, I might just share the same Insta post 3 times in the week and then just do different things on Instagram. But if it means that I'm showing up every day on Facebook and I can schedule 3 posts to be on Instagram if I would, need to be doing other things, or it's school holidays here right now. So if I know that I kind of need to just juggle a few things around, then just do that. So you can kind of pick and choose with that. But yes, you can. And sometimes it's a great option and it's not all bad. So just have a bit of a think about that. And if it means that you're being absent and showing up, then is it wise for you just to show up on both? I'll let you choose. Another tip is that you can schedule via your phone in groups too. And I just mentioned that before. So obviously I do these tips and reminders so I don't forget to tell you. There's so many options out there with what you can do. And it's really cool just being aware of them and having that option. Like if you haven't done your monthly scheduling or your weekly scheduling and you are kind of in a bit of and we all have them, we all have moments, and you're in like these days and you're just like, I haven't done a post today. I need one for tomorrow. I need one for like 3 days time. And you've got a moment, you're better off to actually just go to your phone and you're better off to just put a post up. And if you know what your messaging is for that month, you can kind of keep it in sync with that and schedule that. And then whilst you're in there, just schedule the one for the next 2 days as well. And then you just got like 3 days or whatever of just leeway to not think about what to show up for. So it's just good to have those options. Another tip is if you have an idea, type it up in your notes or in a folder and save it for later. So I use notes in my phone so much. So you can have a folder in your notes section of your phone. And I'm just trying to think. So I have an iPhone and it's just in there, but there is an app and Forever Note. Is that what it's called? There's so many. I'm sure you'll find one if you just ask and just like, you'll find it. There's so many. That's not what it's called. Maybe it is. But there's apps out there for that where you can just like keep making notes. If you've always got your phone and your business is kind of a little bit mobile, then that's great. Or have a journal, whatever works for you. There's no hard and fast rules how you do it. But if you've got an idea or you're listening to something, you think, that'd be a great training or a great YouTube or a great post for me to do. Yeah, that's a great topic. I'm going to write that down and then just do that. The other thing I utilize a lot is, so when the children are getting ready for bed or they're preoccupied and I've got a little bit of time, I might just check in on social, and I seem to kind of do that at night a little bit after I've put my tools down for the day, normally about 3:30. I start work at 10 in my business productively, finish at 3:30, 4 days a week. And that's my schedule that works for me around being mum. So I will find that there's sometimes times where the kids are doing their own thing at night, and I'll utilize that time. I'll jump on a social and I'll, do a few things in there. And it's good to, to do that, because then it just makes the next day a little bit easier because you've got back to a few people, and that's cool. Or a few emails have been answered or whatever. A few posts have been scheduled. But what I find is that if I have someone that's replied to an email from earlier on that day, for example, or commented on a post, and we're ready to book that appointment in, I know that there is different apps and scheduling appointments and that you can use that are out there. But what I would do is I would talk to Siri, and I would hit the button and say, Siri, please remind me at 9 a.m. tomorrow that I need to reply to Mary's email about, and then Siri sets up that reminder for me. Because if I don't write it down and I don't put it in the diary, in the schedule, or type it up somewhere in that, whatever that looks like for you, everyone works that differently, online or actual still manual diary, then it's just forgotten. So if you're going to check in on your social, you're going to check in on your email in those nooks and crannies of the day, you kind of need to have a reminder system. It might just be a note-taking system for that day. And then every day you check that because you've made the notes of, what you need to do. But if you're doing business on the run, then those little things will help you not forget people and things you need to do and follow up with. But Siri is great. And you can tell Siri, remind me tomorrow to do a post about pros and cons about having an email automation. And then I might forget that I had to do that, but it was an idea at the time, and then she'll remind me the next day. So there you go. That's a topic in itself, I think. So journal for content ideas book, been through that. Have a call to action. So it is important to not always have all of your posts be super salesy, and you want people, it's social media, remember, to get social, but you also are there from a business point of view. And we're talking about Facebook for business. So to have a call to action where people can get the free download, look at the YouTube, love your channel, get into your Facebook group, book a complimentary chat with you, buy your product, purchase your service, get on your course, whatever it is. So, and have that call to action, which is always in alignment to what your core messaging is for that month. And it's not just always, click here to book or buy. You need to change it up a bit. So it could be that you do a post, I'm going to use me as an example, that is about this particular topic, which is about scheduling in school, scheduling posts, being in school holidays. Have you got your Facebook content sorted? Are you struggling? Is it just a bit all too hard? Then what I could say in that is click here to join my email list, or the Facebook group, which I give content and free information out, etc. So that could be something. So you need to have a call to action on 20 to 30% of your posts, so people interact with you, because you could be absolutely the sharer and the lover and the giver. But if there's no way that people know how to connect with you, how to stay around what I call your flagpole and work with you, then they're not actually going to do that. So that is the 4-step process. Now, the bonus tip is reply, engage, continue the conversation. Now, if you miss this step, then those 4 steps that we have done is might as well not happen, because if you're putting the most amazing content out there and you're doing wicked videos and you're really showing up and you're not replying to the people that engage with you, then it's just like showing up to a coffee date with friends and you just then leave. but you initiated it. That's not what you want to do. So you need to be prepared to engage. And too often content does go up, and that's where it ends. There's no engagement. Maybe there's some likes, but you've actually got to further the conversation. Someone comments, comment back, and have that interaction. And for me, I look at social media and everything I do actually in my business world as just a conversation. It's communication. It's creating friendships and connections. And I don't overthink it. I don't try and be all fancy and fabulous. And I, want to show up and add value, significance, contribute to the community and have creativity and have other people flourish as well in a startup way that for business that's on budget, that is authentic, that is real and ticks all my values. So conversation for me and continuing the conversation is important because it's in all aspects of who I am and what I want to be known and what I want to show up for. So allow yourself time to continue the conversation. Now, if you're not prepared and you think, oh, I don't want to do that, then it doesn't matter how awesome your content is. People will see it and you may just hook someone here and there, but unless you're prepared to have a chat and get on social, then you'll find that it's not high connection. So it's not back and forth, that conversation. So I wanted to just finish up here talking about something that is on offer. So I have a mastermind for small business operations, and this is for women only. And I have a wait list at the moment for this. So if you wanted to know more about what the wait list is, and this will be an ongoing thing. So regardless of when you're listening to this replay live or YouTube video, it is an ongoing thing at the time of doing this that I see myself continuing to operate with. And I'm not going to mention the costs associated because it may very well change in time. And I want this video to be time sensitive depending upon whenever you're listening to it. But it is an amazing program, and it is on, as I said, waitlist at the moment for when the doors open for it. It does give you the opportunity to be in a very special mastermind group where I actually go live in that group answering all Q&A, question and answers with Shaz. And I also offer a one-to-one service with you where I work with you personally in that month on a one-to-one conversation with you. And there is different things that's associated with that. So if you're like, you know what, I actually really need a mentor, I need a coach, I need someone, I know you want someone that is affordable, you like my vibe, you feel that we're a match, then just ask me about Mastermind, comment about Mastermind, and I will hook you up and send some details for you to ponder whether that's something that you want to be a part of and start that process of understanding more about the basic business fundamentals and having that tribe above and beyond your regular Facebook communities that are there to mastermind your individual business. So feel free to reach out about that. And I would like to thank you all for being here. It's been fabulous to deliver this to you all on social content, 30 minutes a month to show up every day. And if you would like to see more about me and where you can track me down and find me, if you literally just search Sharon Space on Google, you will find me. But my websites are there, my the YouTube, the Facebook, all the same, and also over on Instagram. So thank you all for your time. Look forward to jumping back on and answering any comments and connecting with you all. Have a fabulous day, and I shall talk to you all soon. Bye.